granting second chances and the hopes to having a college degree, what this Boston inner city program is doing to help save the youth from a circle of destruction. Located at 18 Somerset Street in Dorchester is the home to one of the most prominent public outreach programs in the city of Boston, College Bound Dorchester, that's geared to using education as means to reduce poverty. But College Bound Dorchester is not a typical inner city rehabilitation program. It works with the most unlikely candidates. Its newest initiative, Boston Uncornered, liberates ex-gang affiliates from the streets, changing their disposition and helping them obtain a college degree.
The vast majority of gang-involved young people in this country, we firmly believe, are no different than you or I, and if presented with an opportunity to make the right choices, will. Now, that's a belief that we had, but it's borne out by the evidence of the success that these young people have had when we've gone to them and say, we know you're capable of anything, and they've done it.
Boston Uncornered was launched last year and has shown surpassing signs.
We have an 87% drop in recidivism rate, meaning that our guys don't go back to jail, 90% retention rate, meaning when they come to us, they stay in programming, and we have matriculation and graduation rates that exceed the national norm for college going for the country. So the truth is that they have proven that actually the belief that you go to them and you offer them a different way out, that they take it.
As great as the program sounds, it has received a great deal of criticism in the community, viewed as promoting the message that crime does pay. Most people have addressed this point. They said, you're paying them to go to school.
Yeah.
You're giving them like $400 a week.
Yeah.
You're sending them to school for free. They're getting all this help from this organization. Why wouldn't all that help and that money should be invested in inner city kids who are struggling, to just kind of present yourself, to tell them that we're here, we can see you, and to prevent them from ending up in the gangs to begin with?
Yeah. In 1965, we declared a war on poverty in this country. I guarantee you that except for gentrification, those neighborhoods that we were concerned about in 1965 are the exact same neighborhoods, right? It's not working in changing the neighborhood dynamics. And so we can keep saving kids from neighborhoods year after year, decade after decade. But the problem is that we're trying to help the good kids, quote unquote, and allowing the gang members to continue to hang on the corner. And I ask you, how can you create community? How can you realize your full human potential if there's a gang that controls your street? We've found a way, through belief in their power, possibility, and genius, to stipend them, to hire former gang-involved individuals to mentor them, to set high expectations of college graduation, where they have and they do get into and graduate from college.
With 36 students, one neighborhood at a time, Boston Uncornered is working to decimate gangs and rehabilitating its members. How are the gangs responding to this? You say one corner after the other. So yeah. What's the mindset? How is it like out there?
So we were concerned about this. Like, would gangs, would crews sort of see us as competition or... But the truth is, much like even the most active gang member, much like an addict on any other kind of thing, each day has a voice in his head that says, my mom wouldn't want me doing this, my kids wouldn't, I don't want to do this. Our number one source of referrals are existing students. And so when students hear about a different way, and also hear who we hire, who's working for us, who have reputations out there, they want to be involved. And so what we find is that crew members are recruiting for us and directing other people in their crew to College Bound Dorchester.
Hiring the right people is key. Will Dunn, who has had a fair share of troubled life in the past, works here at College Bound Dorchester. So you're a college readiness advisor?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It means I get you prepared for whatever level you at. So if you don't have a GED, I get you to the GED classes to get ready to come over to San Jose to get the college prep classes to get into college, and then from college to get your degree, and then off to the real world.
He grew up in Roxbury and raised by his grandparents. However, after his grandmother passed away at age 7, Will started falling into cracks, and his life took a turn for the worst. And by the age of 15 years old, he saw the inside of a jail cell, serving time for 2 accounts of murder. Tell me, how does a 15-year-old boy get such a case?
Running around here thinking he's tough. Prior to that, I had gun charge already, larceny, armed robbery, stolen car, all prior to 15. So I was running around here thinking I knew the world and I'm gonna represent with my hood. And
what was the hardest thing about being in jail?
Not knowing if I was gonna get 40 years or not. That's what I was facing, 40 years.
Will has been in the program for the past 18 months now, working to recruit troubled individuals and provide them with the guidance that he lacked while growing up. And how is it that first contact when you meet somebody in prison or out on the street and you tell them, listen, you can change your life? How simple or hard is that?
To me, it's simple because I've been doing it for a while, and I'm here to help you if you need the help. So if you decide not to need no help, then I'm not gonna be jumping on your back like, no, you gotta listen to me, you gotta listen to me. It's okay, we'll wait, and if I see you again, bump into you, call to check up on you. In our first conversation, if you have kids, when I see you again, I'll follow up about your kids, and I start building a relationship with you. Then after a while, once the relationship gets there, once the ice is broke, then I'll talk to you like I would talk to my kids. Like, hey man, you need to pay attention to your life. You need to come up with these short-term goals, whatever it's gonna be. If you want some illegal stuff, come up with something to start using your brain.
To Will, who has walked and talked the talk, Boston Uncornered is the opportunity to really shape up the inner city communities. He is urging the village to see the true potential of the initiative.
You either help be part of the solution or part of the problem. So the community can step back and allow somebody to come home from jail and don't reach out to help them. And then when they reach out to help themselves inside your house, robbing you, then you'll be complaining that he never been rehabilitated. So at least give a brother a chance or sister a chance to be rehabilitated so they can step off and do something different to be positive members in the society.
You take them in, you give them some type of shelter and protection. You know, they go to school, They get their $400 per week. So what happens to them when they graduate out of this program? Now they have to face the real world without that safe net.
So the primary things that we do is, one, provide an alternate path, provide academic support. So if they don't have their high school credential, they can get that with us. They can prepare to get into college level courses, and then they can go to college and we stay with them. The other piece is sort of the social emotional, like rewiring the brain and moving from what worked on the streets to what works in the rest of the world. Grit, resiliency, dealing with conflict, all these skills that you learn. For our students, for our graduates, we direct them all to community colleges. So there are hundreds of thousands of middle skills jobs that we need filled, that we don't have skilled people to do. So we work really hard with our students to say, what do you want to do? Be an auto mechanic, be an HVAC engineer, be an engineer, be a social worker, you know, and so we direct them into fields where there are jobs available.
What exactly are you looking to achieve?
Yeah, the big question is, how long does it take to break down a crew? And when you remove a gang from a neighborhood, what is the impact on the rest of the young people, the rest of the families that live in that neighborhood?
It is College Bound Dorchester. However, the program is open to everybody in need. Thank you so much for joining me in this program from WCTV. I am Queen Banda.